Hello, everyone. Today, as we gather to unravel the fascinating subject of generative AI in Web3, an intersection that promises to redefine our digital experiences and reshape the very landscape of human machine interaction. We'll be fortunate to hear from a panel of distinguished experts, each a visionary in their own right, who will guide us through the interactive tapestry of generative AI in the context of Web3. Jagriti, I would like you to take over and introduce all the speakers for now, and then I'll just start asking the questions.
Thank you, Gazala. So, hello everyone. My name is Jagriti Jaiswal, and I'm truly honored to stand before you as the host of this extraordinary talk show. This is our second episode of Let's Talk All About Crypto, which is presented by ABC Conclave. ABC Conclave is the world's largest Web3 conclave, said to be most prestigious conference in Dubai, scheduled for 7th and 8th of October. This extraordinary event combines gaming and esports tournament and vibrant music festival and captivating cosplay, attracting a diverse audience over 20,000 plus attendees from across the globe. Visit our website www.abcconclave for further information. The show are the part of pre-event activity. We will embark on an enlightening journey into the domain of artificial intelligence and its dynamic interaction with the groundbreaking Web3 ecosystem. Our focus for today's episode is generative AI in Web3. In an era defined by innovation and digital transformation, our gathering today is a testament to boundless possibilities that emerge when technology and creativity converge. The fusion of generative AI and Web3 promises to reshape the way we interact, communicate, and create in digital space. So sit back and engage your curiosity and prepare to be inspired as we explore the frontier of technology and creativity. Our speakers are ready to share their insight, experiences, and prediction about the future of generative AI in Web3. If the audience have any questions for our speaker, please feel free to write them on the chat. We will take a few questions if time allows. Without further ado, let us embrace the discussion, connect with our speakers who hail from UAE, India, Singapore, and USA. Let's welcome Shamir Taha, a serial tech entrepreneur, angel investor, a visionary strategist, brings a wealth of experience to the table. As the chief strategy officer at Accubits Technology, he has played an instrumental role in numerous transformation projects with Dubai government, and even led the development of pandemic management platform during the challenging times of COVID outbreak. With a background in computer engineering and MBA, Shamir's expertise spans across Web3, metaverse, AI, sustainability, and climate fintech. His impactful work has extended to being a published author, a global conference speaker, and advisor to Global Skill Development Council. We welcome you to the show, Shamir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Our next panelist is Nikhil Villa. Nikhil Villa is Vice President of Gaming and Web3 at One Championship, Asia's largest global sports media platform. Nikhil is seasoned professional in gaming industry with over a decade of experience, and he has left his mark in leading companies such as Disney, Nazara, and Reliance Game. His passion for gaming, coupled with his expertise in marrying games and brands that has seen him work in IP owned by major players like Disney, Viacom, Sony Pictures, and ICC. Nikhil's dedication to solving product problems and spearheading engagement, retention, and monetization initiative has been pivotal in driving sustainable growth in the industry. And we are delighted to have him with us today. We welcome you to the show, Nikhil.
Thank you for having me.
Extremely honored to have our next panelist meet Wajid, a trailblazer with 8 years of experience and a top 15 global AI standing. Is the director of partnership at Renaissance Tech. With a multidisciplinary approach, Wajid is excelled in launching SaaS, B2B, B2C product with a focus on gaming, blockchain, generative AI, web, mobile expertise. His innovative spirit and extensive knowledge has contributed significantly to evolution of these cutting-edge technologies. We welcome you to the show, Vaji.
Thanks for having me.
Moving on to the next panelist, Shilpa Garg. Shilpa Garg is conversational generative AI consultant, boasts a rich 9 years of experience in the industry. With a specialization in conversational AI, Shilpa's expertise lies in enabling conversational AI using generative AI. And her mentorship and speaking engagement at various national and international conferences for machine learning and conversational AI showcase her commitment to the field. She has also been a diversity, equity, and inclusion ambassador in numerous events, embodying the spirit of progress and inclusivity. We welcome you to the show, Shilpa.
Hello.
Yeah, and since we don't have Christopher McCauley with us, so I believe Ghazala will be moderating the show. So we welcome you to the show, Ghazala, and you can take over the conversation ahead. Ghazala, Ghazala, are you there? Just a moment.
I think she's saying her mic is disabled.
Yes, hello. I'm sorry, it was disabled. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Jagriti. Quickly moving ahead, the first question goes to Mr. Shamir. Generative AI is poised to reshape various industries. How can it specifically revolutionize the realms of Web3 and decentralized technologies? Your thoughts?
Well, so when it comes to developing, say, blockchain and Web3 projects, generative AI can provide massive productivity gains as well as enhance the development process in many ways. Now, as a person who codes occasionally, I used to spend way too much time just debugging smart contracts line by line. Now, smart contract coding could radically be accelerated with code generation models like the latest Wizard coder. There's our own Akibit's own dev bud. There's Anthropic's Claude or Codex's Code LLM. Now, I could simply describe the contract logic in natural language, and the models can automatically generate the Solidity code. So no more late nights manually coding error-prone smart contracts. It's a game changer. And these AI models can also help with front end development for dApps and services. So a developer could just outline the UI and UX flows, and the AI could generate production ready code in frameworks like React and Vue. Diffusion models, like you must have seen models that are being used like Midjourney and DALI, they just open up a complete set of possibilities for generative content and asset creation as well. Now, developers could instantly, imagine up virtual objects, avatars, artifacts, and even creative scenes for metaverse and game environments that could be powered by Web3. On the data side, auto-generated data models that are derived from just analyzing on-chain and off-chain data sets could simplify the process of building the blockchain storage and transactions as well. So, and you could even simulate the token incentive designs with AI that could allow for better optimal economics just before you actually launch the project. There are even things like automated code analysis tools like Deep Code. They can hugely boost security by detecting vulnerabilities in your smart contracts and Web3 code before they get deployed. Now, with the right integrations and responsible development, generative AI could significantly enhance almost every aspect of building within the decentralized web ecosystem, right from protocols to applications. So basically, automating the rote coding tasks and augmenting human creativity. I truly believe that AI can help developers bring their vision from user-owned platforms to life faster than ever before.
Incredible. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Shamir. Up next, I have a question for Mr. Nikhil. In terms of gaming being one of your current bigger use cases of Web3, how do you look at generative AI there?
Sure. See, I think if you look at AI, right, increasingly, whether you look at decentralized applications, blockchain games, or whether even social media platforms, what really drives very strong engagement, attention, and monetization is very customized, curated, and personalized content, right? That your feed and the content that you are receiving is based on what you engage, what you like, right? What AI can do is really enable and make it a large more larger platform to give each person a very customized offering that's there. I think that's one of the things, whether you look at gaming or decentralized apps, it becomes a great use case. Now, you don't want to play the game exactly the way a designer has created the game, right? Based on what your interest is, based on how you, what genres you connect with, what kind of games you played, right? You can craft journeys based on what works for you, right? If you look at customized content, a lot of, I would say, games and apps use a very simple if this then that, right? Like basically creating very binary ways of looking at things. But with AI you can multiply that. You can create a unique storytelling experience that can drive a lot more engagement and monetization, right? So I really believe generative AI can really kickstart that, and lead to multifold engagement, retention, and monetization uplifts.
Thank you, Mr. Nikhil. Mr. Waji, how do you envision the integration of generative AI in the Web3 ecosystem? And what potential applications do you foresee?
Yeah, first of all, I would second what Shamir brought up in terms of automating things with the AI. We have been, developing several applications, several products since 8 years now. And with this mighty shift in the technology, we have experienced that we can automate a lot of things, and the developers can, and the designers, everyone who is building the piece of code can get things automated, and it enormously increases the speed of the development, and it like gives us a very good heads on to go with the flow and get things done in a quicker manner. So that's one part of the AI. But in terms of the generative AI specifically, what I think is very interesting to know is that it can revolutionize the entire Web3 domain by infusing the creativity and adaptability. So let's say before this mighty shift in the technology, AI was supposed to automate and do the things which the humans, the models can be trained to do several things which can automate the processes which humans can do. But now with generative AI, we are getting into the creativity and adaptability, which means consider NFT marketplaces. AI can collaboratively design unique NFT art pieces responding to the current trends. So imagine it not only empowers the artist but also enhances the user engagement by offering diverse and evolving content. In terms of the metaverse, I'll connect this to it because I also come from a gaming background. So I think just imagine Decentraland, which is one of the great, one of the big virtual world built on Ethereum. Now with generative AI, imagine the power it brings to create, explore, and monetize the content, rich experiences which can be augmented with the AI driven generative elements. So I think there is a huge potential, and a lot of industries can be transformed using generative AI in specific domain, not only in Web3 but out of the Web3 space. It applies to every industry out there. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is to Shilpa. To what extent can generative AI enhance user experiences and interactions with Web3 platforms and virtual environments?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Jasila. I think it can enhance in every extent, as Shamir and Vachi has already mentioned it, right? As we know, generative AI can create unique and personalized experiences for Web3 users. For example, we can use it to create avatars, we can use it to create audiovisual effects, we can use it to create, as Nikhil has also mentioned, to create game characters based on our preferences, not only what a gamer has created, right, or a game creator has created. So this personalization can help us to create more immersive and engaging environment for all the users. which can automatically lead to increase in the user retention, increase in the loyalty of the customers as well, right? As we also see, like with the help of generative AI, we can used to create more efficient and intuitive interfaces that we are using on day-to-day basis, right? We are also using generative AI extensively in metaverse, where we are creating different like realistic images, we are creating realistic faces which actually don't exist as well, right? So that's why in that space, generative AI has been a total game changer in enhancing the user experiences, which has helped us. Even generative AI is in the space of conversational AI, or in the space of like other spaces as well, where it has helped the users to write in the text, write in the stories, etc. So yeah, that I would say, like, it has been a great extent, and it has helped the user retention in various industries. Thank
Thank you, Shilpa. Mr. Shamir, would you like to add something to this? The same question I would like to ask you.
So, yeah, well, if you think about it, it has huge potential to take the user experience to literally the next level. I think, all the fellow panelists have been talking about the same thing, which is about bringing a layer of personalization, especially if you think about it, games are all, like Nikhil said, if then else, right? Now, this is an ability for us to now create an experience for a user to onboard and create a journey which is beyond just an open environment, but open pathways. So the entire structure, the storyline could change as per the needs and demands of the actual user. We're seeing conversational AI bots that can have natural, entertaining conversations, that can even tell jokes, share stories, and exhibit unique personalities. Right. So this makes interacting with AI characters more enjoyable and lifelike, which is what is actually missing in most virtual environments today, and which is why the adoption, I think, in my personal opinion, has been quite limited. And beyond conversational AI, we can have tools that automatically generate, customized avatars, objects, even like, Shipla mentioned, full storylines. So I think that is quite interesting. Now you can imagine having the ability to have open questions that you can ask an avatar. You can make it gamified. You can have educational content that is gamified as well. So, however, I must mention this. There's still a lot of open questions around ethics and how do you preserve human creativity. However, I'm very optimistic about striking that right balance. Used thoughtfully, I think we can create personalized, adaptive, and immersive experiences at scale across the Web3 ecosystem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Shamir. Nikhil, can you share your thoughts on the below question? With the convergence of AI and blockchain in Web3, how do you see generative AI driving the creation of interpolarable and interconnected virtual experiences?
Yeah, I think it is interoperable. So I see the thing is that if like G pointed out Decentraland as one of the metaverse platforms that's there, right? You have others like Sandbox, you have platforms like Fortnite, Roblox. Each platform has its own rule set, has its own world that's there. But one asset that you own in a specific platform doesn't translate well to another platform. Sandbox is based on voxel characters. Fortnite is based on slightly realistic cartoonish characters. Can you use AI to really create an avatar that you connect with and have that version across different worlds, right? You have a unique identity across worlds. You don't need to, oh, I need to buy an NFT for this platform, I need to buy an NFT for this world. What you want is a seamless experience as you're translating and engaging with multiple platforms. AI can really help you kind of automate a lot of processes as you move across these platforms, because if you look at it from a development perspective, right, there is really limitations to what you can build. How many avatars will you build for a user? How much variety will you give, right? And is the user really going to go through 20 clicks and 50 variations to really create an avatar that they enjoy? Can they just automatically, I have this avatar that I built on this platform, can you create a voxel version of that for me? So I really believe AI can allow you to create a version, an avatar, a content that you can translate from world to world, and it feeling like a very seamless and a very much more connected experience that's there. I think that would be a great example of how it can work across metaverse platforms as well as Web3 properties that's there.
Well, thank you. Shilpa, can you tell us in what ways can generative AI contribute to the development of dynamic, self evolving content and experiences within the metaverse?
As like most of us over here are discussing on the same, like it can help into effectiveness of the of collaboration and connection in the metaverse. As I have seen in day-to-day life, that people who are building over metaverse are creating great collaboration environment over there, right? Plus building an, I would say, building an empathy driven model, LLM, like in the avatar creation in metaverse is also very necessary these days. Imagine like learning, playing, and working collaboratively with friends, family, and co-workers in a virtual environment, wherein you can have the assistance of multiple LLMs who are helping you to create avatars, as Nikhil also mentioned, right? Wherein you can just create it out of a certain platform, and instead of clicking it on like 50 odd places, you can just create it at one place and use that, right? That's how it could also help us. Now, connection and communication are also like very much critical for enhancing the social interactions, but metaverse has presented us with an unprecedented opportunity to harness the potential of a powerful tool, right? Forging the connections and enabling communications within each other. So I would say, like by generative AI, we can create virtual communities and platform that facilitate authentic connection and foster a sense of emptiness. Not, I would say, not sympathy, but emptiness within each other and a sense of belonging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shilpa. I think our audiences are really enjoying this talk show, and we have questions coming in. So that is for later. Anyway, I'll just move ahead and ask the same question to Mr. Waji. In what ways can generative AI contribute to the development of dynamic, self evolving content and experiences within the metaverse?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I think we all should acknowledge the fact that during the Web3, when the Web3 like hype was there, a lot of projects came into being, but there was a there was a need of making a connection between the Web3 and the real world. So with this generative AI and metaverse, I think we can see a lot of different businesses which can be transformed. So right now, I'll just share an example that I'm working with. We're basically working on immersive shopping experience, and just imagine you enter in a shop. Like, what is the expectation of a normal buyer when you enter in a shop? You need a person to entertain you with the questions, to guide you, right? Now, with the shortage of staff, let's say if there are many people in the store and not everyone can be entertained the same way, we can create a system with generative AI that as soon as you enter into this virtual shop, you can get your designated, like a dedicated virtual bot, which is in a form of an avatar talking to you, greeting you, and this avatar, this AI bot knows some of your preferences. So this bot is guiding you to have a very good, entertaining, and a completely transformative shopping experience. And every buyer, whoever gets into this virtual store, gets their own dedicated bot which is entertaining them. So this can be the next, this could be a game changer, because right now what we have seen is when you go to the websites, you can talk to the customer support bots, you can talk to the sales bot. Just imagine, these bots are going to be transformed into human like avatars talking to you, entertaining you in every aspect of the shopping experience. And this can be applied into different type of metaverse applications. Just imagine the same bot presenting you with a new car model when you walk into the showroom. This AI bot can be a bank manager, like a virtual bank you're going into to open an account. So just imagine this. This is how I think it can be a game changer, and it can transform every industry if we specifically talk how we can get this adaptability in the metaverse itself. Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you, Mr. Waji. Mr. Shamir, from a business standpoint, how can enterprises leverage generative AI in their Web3 strategies to create compelling value propositions for users and customers?
Well, personally, it's very exciting to see how this could be used to create, like you said, the high value proposition for users and customers. And to take on Vaji's point about e-commerce, right? So, everyone's trying to create omni-channel experiences, think about virtual stores. Personally, I feel the paradigm is changing. How we interact with businesses are changing. So, metaverse is an alter version of the physical world. We are interacting today with computers through keyboards and mouse. That's going to change very soon. It's going to be conversational. You can create applications with your voice. So I think that's going to change. So the ability to create those personalized virtual stores where shoppers see the products picked for them is going to come very soon. And like you said, AI powered influencers could be a different way of engaging with a brand. If you think about real estate, for instance, this is not something new, but AI could unlock, things like immersive previews to an apartment or a facility. We've always had 360 tours and all that, but what changes now is the ability to generate that content fairly quick, right? So you can create metaverse experiences just by using a prompt, and the quality is pretty good these days, improving day by day. Or even you could use AI chatbots to answer common questions to aid the sales process and become a sales agent. In fact, you can automate the entire sales process itself, which, to be fair, we've done that. We've automated marketing, we've automated, outbound sales in terms of, doing follow ups. What I'm also very interested about is the actual protocols, right? So if you think about it, there's a challenge. If you look at non-solidity based, protocols, finding developers is difficult. Now you have LLMs that can actually translate code from one, say Solidity to Rust and vice versa. What that means is that now you can actually port all the applications and dApps which are available on, a fairly effective protocol onto a new protocol and just enable an entire ecosystem. So, AI can help companies, do a lot more than just, customer experience side of things or just the creative side of things. It can actually enable the business operations as well. And that's what I'm really excited about. So I think we're just scratching the surface of AI's business potential. Handled ethically, I think it can make decentralized platforms much more functional while automating all of the rudimentary work. So we just have to find the right balance between augmented and artificial. I still believe that the human touch is very important, and AI can enhance that experience, not replace them fully.
Thank you, Mr. Shamir. The next question is for Nikhil. Considering the ethical implications, how can we strike a balance between the creative capabilities of generative AI and human input in the context of Web3?
Sure, I think this is going to be one of the lengthier portions of the talk where I think all of us are going to talk about ethics. And see, the way I look at blockchain, right? One of the great things that Web3 and blockchain got is transparency, right? And there's a bit of that is lacking towards AI, right? When you are using AI to generate an output, what is the kind of content that's been consumed to create that output? You don't know, right? And are the original people actually getting, I would say, call outs or monetary benefits from that? Not sure, right? So the way I look at it is, and this is a very future perspective thinking, and this is a very personal thought about it, right? And I'll tell you how we think about it at one as well. That there's a system of transparency, right? Whenever you upload your content on any internet platform, the internet connected device that's there, and any internet connected server that's there, right? You can mark the data to either be public or private, right? If you mark it as public, it can be used by AI bots that can be consumed, and whenever that is actually used by any end consumer to serve to other users, you actually get monetary benefit out of it, right? Think of it like creator royalties based on the content that you created. Similarly, right, if you want to keep your content private, you don't want people to actually use the content that you've developed, you can mark it as private. That way your bots would not learn from it, but on the same side you will not benefit monetarily from it, right? So it has to be very, I would say, a modular way in terms of how are you segregating and looking at data. Obviously this requires a lot of systems to be in place. Now as a sports media org, and as considering the way we look at it is, and taking on a bit more, I would say, the relatively a different stance on ethics, is that we are looking to create our own internal AI that consumes all the content that we develop, right? So, for example, one, we're distributed in one more than 180 countries across the world, and we on a yearly basis we hit more than 25 billion organic video views, right, across our platforms, right? It's a lot of content consumption that happens, and a lot of content that's being created. What we want to do is use the content that we're creating, use the editorial that we're creating, to develop a smart bot that understands what our fans want, that understands what our brand does, create content that is brand safe, and that is what we publish, right? That way the AI is leveraging data that you are providing, right? I would say that is a bit more ethical at this, to some extent that's there. Now I grant that the use case of something like this is going to be limited, right? I think the best part about AI is that the more it learns, the better, the more smarter it gets, right? So it is going to be limited on the get-go, but on things like editorial content, in terms of putting out videos or even content pieces that's there, it could be a great thought starter. It's not going to get you 100% of the way there, but can it get you 80% of the way, drive efficiency and help people and have actually people fine tuning it and putting it out? I think that might be a smarter approach, and I would say a bit more ethical approach to it.
Thank you, Nikhil. Mr. Waji, how might generative AI driven content creation impact the way we design, build, and maintain decentralized applications in Web3?
Yeah, it depends. Basically, I would agree with Shamir and Nikhil on the stage where the AI is right now. I think right now this cannot be completely, done by the AI. We need the human interaction at least to validate and provide, a kind of a gamification on the generated content, which is like completely AI based. So right now, this is a revolution, but at this stage, we're not at the stage where it accurately or builds everything in a perfect manner. But I think in terms of like how this is going to be maintained in the decentralized application in the Web3, I think just imagine AI as an architect, integrating smart contracts and the like enhancing the efficiency and security, venture into virtual domains where AI magic crafts these adaptive worlds and evolve with every user interaction, redefining the art of immersion. So I think that's how we can find the ways, and there is a huge impact the way we design, build, and maintain the decentralized applications in the Web3. And personally, we have been, spending a lot of time developing the decentralized application with our developers, with our in-house, teams. But with the help of AI, we have built a co-pilot which helps the developers to, minimize the effort they have to make in order to do the regular stuff. And then on the top of it, there is a small effort that the developers, designers have to put, but the platforms gets ready. So it not only impacts the development speed, but also from a cost perspective, from like for the founders who have an idea to start, like as a startup, they have to have something to be built and tested really quick. With the AI or making these decentralized applications, we can experience a lot of speed and automation that comes into place. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Waji. Uh, Shilpa, what role does generative AI play in mitigating content duplication and ensuring uniqueness in the creation of NFTs?
That's a really, I think, good question. So I think one of the most popular generative AI techniques which we use in NFT art is called generative adversarial network, which we also call as GANs, right? So there are two basically neural networks which are working against each other. One is generator network, and definitely another one is discriminator network, right? So the generator network, which is mostly responsible for creating new images based on the training data which we put in, while the discriminator network, which is trained to distinguish between real and the fake images which are there on the network, right? So this the combination of generative AI and the NFT has huge potential to revolutionize the art. Uh, and enhance the digital experience and ownership in Web3. While AI generated artwork brings innovation and new possibilities, NFTs like these days provide a very robust solution for everything, right? In which we use generative adversarial networks or called GANs as well to fuel the growth for unique and valuable NFT art. So that's my take on that.
Thank you, Shilpa. With this, we come to the end of this discussion. However, I would like to ask all the speakers one question. Uh, if anybody wants to volunteer and take it over first, the question is, considering the transformative potential of generative AI in Web3, how do you envision this technology reshaping the future landscape of creative expression, virtual experiences, and collaborative interactions? What role can organization like yours play in driving this evolution? Who would like to answer first?
I can give it a shot.
Yes.
Um, well, on the creative side, like since you asked that, we are already seeing a glimpse with AI art generators like say DALI producing stunning imagery, right, with simple prompts. Imagine that scale of automated creation applied to things like 3D worlds, characters, interactive stories. That scope is limitless. So basically, my vision of the future is where AI assists human creators rather than replacing them, empowering them with advanced technical skills to turn their imagination into reality. So basically, with generative design, even those with zero coding experience could build interactive virtual worlds. And that's the power of generative AI. So artists and storytellers of literally all backgrounds could bring their characters and plots to life. At the same time, there's a huge potential for more collaborative experiences powered by this tech. Imagine decentralized ecosystems where AI can help moderate and foster that positive community interaction at scale. That's something that I'm yet to see in real life, but I think that's something quite interesting where shared virtual spaces can dynamically adapt to the collective will of all the participants. So the key is to develop these generative models responsibly at Acubits. Now, we are an organization at literally the bleeding edge of generative R&D, right? So we're building our own foundational models. Now, we see it as our role to drive the innovation while ensuring ethical application. We also want to empower as many creators and contributors as possible from literally all walks of life, right? So that they can benefit from these tech. That's why we're building both enterprise and consumer solutions, leveraging both closed, open, as well as our own foundation models, which are also multi-model. And just to give you a sneak preview, we've our foundation models have surpassed GPT-4 in evals on reasoning, abstraction, and coding. So, I mean, of course, there are challenges ahead, and but the possibilities make it an incredibly exciting time.
Thank you, Mr. Shamir. Nikhil, will you take up next?
Sure. See, I think the possibilities are endless, and Shamir has, I think, given a great preview of what it can do, right? So I'll just talk a bit about on prompting as a skill set will become the most important thing in the world for any person who is building anything, right? It's going to be as important as learning Excel. Whenever someone tells you you have a desktop, so I think prompting is what can really enable you. Basically, anything that you can imagine, you can create, right? There is an AI that can help you, whether it's audio, whether it's visual, whether it's imagery, whatever be your use case, whatever be your starting point, you can get 80% of the way there by just the right prompting, right? The 20% is where I would say the personalization and your perspective and your thoughts come into picture. But to get that 80%, prompting is what you need. And I think it's going to be one of the most important skill sets going ahead for anyone who's building.
Thank you. Shilpa, your thoughts on this?
As Nikhil had Samir has covered, I think most of the part into this, right? I we can definitely say from the conversational AI front that as prompting is as important these days as we talk about generative AI, because there is no limit to generative AI if we talk about it, right? There is no limit to what it can do, but we also need to keep a check on the data security and like data centralization as well, right? Wherein we talk about the limitless possibilities which comes in with generative AI, but we also need to take care of the data breaches which are happening day by day, right? All this because we have seen, I think this has happened with a lot of us that uh, the data which with could be personal data which has been shared with the help of all these generative AI things is going into some hands which could misuse that, right? So with the technologies like obviously blockchain and then Web3, where the user can get the control of this. So I think the combination of all these technologies could give us a upper hand on the to a human than the technology itself.
Thank you, Shilpa. Mr. Waji, would you like to share your perspectives on this?
Yeah, I think most of the things are covered, and I saw some comments as well. So it's all about effective prompting. This is the next skill that everyone should have, and I'll make it very simple so all the audience and all the people who have joined the session should know exactly how to interact with the AI. So there are a few fundamental tips that everyone should be following in order to achieve and see the desired results from the AI. So first of all, you need to be very specific and clear when you're talking something like talking with AI. So clearly outline your question or request to minimize the ambiguity to ensure that the AI understands your intent, because there is a huge data set on the back end. So it's like there are endless possibilities of a lot of answers that you can generate, but all you have to do is to be very accurate with providing context and use examples. So let's say if you're asking something and make like you're like looking for an answer from the AI, you should be using effective examples, and of course experiment it how it conversate how it generates the answer, and then try to reiterate that question and try to build a conversation out of it, so you can get like the end result in a very accurate and customized way. In terms of the gaming specifically, we saw a huge success of the play to earn games in the Web3 ecosystem. So I coming from a gaming background as well, I would like to mention here that it's basically just imagine the endless possibilities of having the NPCs. Just imagine that there is a game that you're playing and it's having an adaptive gameplay, like all the non like NPCs are responding dynamically with your actions. And imagine a world where there are personalized quests which are being designed by AI with your preferences and your behavior, so that you feel that the game you're playing is more alive and responsive to your actions and whatever you're doing. And then the storytelling, the realistic behaviors, the bosses which are attacking you should be behaving as per your preferred choices, weapons, and all that. So just imagine the immersive possibilities to engage the users on your product if you have this a generative AI concept embedded in any of the product that you have. And we are also experiencing that, being like one of the top of 15 companies in the generative AI services. We are building our own AI co-pilot, which will help the people to just develop products by prompts. So you give the prompt, you want to build an application, just give the prompts and get things will be done. And of course, there is a layer where there is a human interaction required at the stage, but I think we're not seeing that far ahead. In a few months of time, I think there would be some accurate results being generated with the AI. So that's my take on it, and I think I agree with all the points that everyone has made so far. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Waji. Thank you. Thank you. I thank each and every one here, Shilpa, Mr. Waji, Mr. Amir, Mr. Nikhil. Thank you. That was an intense and a thought-provoking discussion. Thank you for joining us in this talk show. Jagrati will take over to conclude this talk.
Thank you, Gazala. So, as we wrap up this enlightening talk show, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all our esteemed panelists, Shamir Taha, Nikhil Villa, Waji, Shilpa Garg, and Gazala, for conducting this amazing talk show. Thank you all for sharing your valuable insights. The perspective discussed and the visionary ideas presented had undoubtedly expanded our understanding of the dynamic landscape where artificial intelligence meet the revolutionary Web3. I would like to express our gratitude to all the delegates who joined us today. We hope the talk show has provided you a valuable knowledge, thought-provoking ideas, and deeper understanding. I can see a few questions we have from audience. As we have limited time, I would like to ask panelists if you guys don't mind if we can address a few questions from the audience. Can we take a few questions?
Yeah, sure. I think most of them are answered because I was particularly looking at the chat box and I was like giving examples, answering those questions. But yeah, we can go ahead with that. Yeah.
Okay. And I believe Nikhil has to leave. I would like to take this opportunity to ask a question to Nikhil. For a sports brand, how are you looking at Web3 and what role do you think generative AI will play?
Sure. I thought the panel was over, but there's a surprise question in the end. I'll try to keep it a bit short, right? So for a sports media base, you're looking at how do you engage with a fan, 24/7, right? There's only so many live events you can throw. There's only so many athletes that you will have. There's only so many interactions that you can do, right? I think AI can be a thought starter for anything you put out on editorial, on social, gaming. There's decentralized apps, and it can also be used in things like NFTs and fan tokens to empower fans to participate in key decision making, right? All of these different, I would say, products that you build, AI plays a very vital role in all of them, right? I think some of the use cases that have been pointed out today, for example, you can create scripts within a matter of seconds if you prompt the correct way. You can create visuals that would create some, they'll give you so many options to put things out on an editorial piece or on a social piece. So I think AI gets you 80% of the way there for anything you put out in a snap of few seconds. That's there. It's about making sure you prompt the right way and get the output that you need to set the context the right way. You give it the right definitions, I have Vaji pointed out, and it can do wonders. It can get you 80% efficiency on anything you're building today in a matter of seconds.
What a wonderful insight that was. Thank you so much, Nikhil. It was pleasure having you with us today.
All right,
Moving
thank you
on.
again. Bye.
Yeah. Moving on, we'll take a few questions from audience and we'll do our best to address them within a given time. How would you see the integration of generative AI within Web3 environment contributing to addressing challenges like pandemic management and other crisis situations in the future?
Contributing to pandemic management.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very intriguing question. So, I think we broadly touched upon the challenge of, how do you tether the data that's actually creating or enabling the emergence in the AI, right? So, how do you attribute one particular output to the creator or the actual data source? There's this whole concept about tethered AI, and there's I forgot the name of the publisher, but there's a book that's being drafted called Tethered AI, which is basically using blockchain to actually the other way around. It's not generative AI enabling Web3, but the other way around, where blockchain is used, where it's tethering the data source to create this. And when it comes to pandemic management, the biggest challenge where we've been looking to address during the time was about how do you find the actual source of the pandemic, right? So there's a mathematical model of how the pandemic was actually spread within communities. And so when you think about that, again, the biggest challenge that we try to solve using blockchain was exactly that, using contact tracing and how do you enable the source and how do you figure out the spread of the SARS-CoV virus. Now, you can think about how generative AI can actually be used to enable, everything that we discussed, which is, the smart contracts or looking at how you can create better communication to the audience. Everyone had queries on, how do I protect myself? Do I need to get vaccinated, this vaccine? Imagine having a personal assistant with you that understands your entire genomics, your DNA, and your allergies, and then recommending whether this particular vaccine is suitable for you, or if it's going to have complications for you. What are the negative sides of it? So being able to answer those questions was one of the biggest challenges during the pandemic, right? So you needed an issue addressal forum, and that's where you can have something at scale using generative AI. So there's a few pieces around it. It's not a straightforward answer, I understand, because it's not a straightforward question either.
Thank you so much, Shamir. Your response was truly insightful. So
Thank
we have one more question for Shilpa from our audience. How do you envision generative AI contributing to enhancing and personalizing conversational experiences with decentralized platform? And what specific challenges and opportunities do you anticipate in implementing generative AI for communication in decentralized context?
So I think this has been discussed before as well. So I'll just give it a shot and very brief. What I think is conversational AI these days is generative AI is these days is doing great job in conversational AI domain. Wherein earlier we used to have this training capabilities. We used to train intents. We used to train kind of the data based on certain very specific things, right? If you're trying to create a say booking specific bot, then you used to train your intents based on those booking data. But now with generative AI comes into picture, it's just plug and play. You just plug it with apps APIs like chat GPT or something, and you're good to go. You can ask it anything, it can answer anything. But everything comes with its certain limitations, right? So the limitations over here are, as we discussed earlier, is definitely the data breach and the data security. When you are when you are dealing with these kind of conversational AI platforms, be it in any domain, right? So when you are asking questions, certain questions, and you are talking to the bots, you are telling them that okay, you would like to travel on this particular date from this place to this place. You don't know where your data could go, right? So these are the major challenges where it could be used for other purposes as well. So just need to be very sure of that whenever we are using, we should use it with our specific keys and security measures. The data should not go to the public domain. There are many ways available. There is masking available whenever we are dealing with entities, and whenever we are dealing with certain parameters, we can mask our parameters wherein we can just pass on the data, which is generic data to the public domain and not the whole data or the personalized data to the domain. So that is how we can protect it. So yeah, that's
Thank you so much, Shilpa. That was a wonderful contribution to the discussion. We'll move on to our last question to the show, and that is for Vaji. We have few minutes left. So the question to Waji from audience is, in the context of growing Web3 landscape, how do you envision the synergy between gaming, blockchain, Web3 technology, and generative AI, shaping new and exciting possibilities for innovation? Do you see challenges arising from the integration?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. And as we saw a huge growth on play to earn models, which were Web3 based products, but having a game our users can, play, earn, and being rewarded. So I think there is a great like gap there, which can be filled with generative AI. I explained it previously as well, but I'll just try to keep it very brief. So in terms of the gaming industry, just imagine you're creating and designing a game which takes the preferences of the user, the player, and making it more alive. So let's say the bosses you fight with, the journeys, the quests you experience in the game, they are designed particularly based on your preferences and your the choices that you make. So it can be more personalized in terms of creating generative experiences, specifically when we talk about games. And there is a lot that can be done, but I agree with Shilpa's point that it has to be regulated by some entities so that we cannot see the misuse of the information, the data that is being populated and generated on the daily basis. We think that we're talking to chat gpt, we're solving our problems, but we are training this model with our personal stuff. Every day we are sharing secrets, we're sharing a lot of information which is being stored somewhere. So it is knowing about our personality. Now it can be dealt with a positive a way as well. Like I can get a recommended suits, shirts, whatever I like, but on the negative side it has a lot of risk as well. So we need to motivate, or let's say opt for regulations that can make us feel secure in terms of this revolution that is coming ahead. And then in terms of the industries, we can see a lot of different industries like goods creation. The art can be generated with the AI, so NFTs can be evolve with using generative AI. We can see virtual fashion wearables, AI powered governance in the DAO ecosystem. So we have the DAO, like decentralized autonomous organizations. By the help of generative AI, we can assist the founders, the platforms to take decisions based on the various amount of data in an aggregated form, right? And then of course we can apply that to the real estate, to the music and soundscapes. Virtual tourism can be, expanded using generative AI, and of course the AI powered health and wellness. We just developed a small application recently which is for childcare called askmama.ai, where parents can, make queries and get tips to, like better, like parent, for the better parenting and entertaining the child in a good way and in a better way. So this is a kind of a very open-ended topic, but yeah, that's how I summarize it. I hope that answers the question, and that would be my like humble opinion on that. Yeah.
Thank you, Aji, for sharing your perspective on this subject, and it was truly enlightening. Thank you, everyone. We are unable to accommodate any further question at this time, and we must conclude the session. We hope you found the talk show insightful and informative. If you have any further questions or would you like to continue the conversation, please do not hesitate to contact us through our website and social media platform. Thank you for joining us for the talk show today. We appreciate your presence and active participation during the event. As a token of appreciation, we are delighted to offer you an exclusive opportunity, and you will receive a special code for the main event with an additional 40% discount on the registered email address for the first 30 attendees of this talk show. This exceptional deal is exclusively available to those who has attended the talk show and is valid till 2nd of September. So hurry, secure a spot for ABC DXP. Thank you once again for joining us today, being a part of our event, and we can't wait to see you at the main event. We look forward to having you back with the next talk show, and that is on crypto accelerating women, and it is scheduled on September 7th. So stay tuned for another exciting journey that delves into women's empowerment and their dynamic involvement in world of crypto. Until we meet again, the horizon of innovation. Thank you and goodbye. This is your host, Jagriti Jaswal, signing off.